We'll go ahead and pray. Go ahead. Yes, we'll need it all.
Let's do it. Our loving Father in heaven, we come to you so very, very grateful for this beautiful day that you've given to us. Thank you for the blue skies. Lord, I thank you for protecting our great county from some of the weather that other counties in Texas endured this past week. We pray that you would just watch over us as there's more weather that's expected this week. Father, besides the weather, I thank you for our new county judge. Father, I pray that you would just give him all the wisdom and all the discernment that he needs to do his job well. Lord, I thank you that you would just be so gracious to us, that you would give us an individual that would serve this county like this. I thank you for our county commissioners, Lord. I thank you for the word that you've given to them. Lord, I thank you that you would just use them in a mighty way. And I pray that you too would give them wisdom and discernment, Lord, as they steward the finances of this great county of Texas. Lord, we thank you for loving us. Lord, we thank you for the wonderful opportunity that we had this past weekend to observe Easter. And just thank you for the most wonderful gift of your son, Jesus Christ. And it's in his name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
All right. We ready?
Yeah.
All right. Well, how are we this morning, Commissioner? What do you got?
Lighting roads with the moisture that we got from the rain of the weekend and our gang on it. We got the 1400s done, working on the 1300s. And kind of progress through that and try to shore up some of the roads out of the lake from the temperatures.
Good, Commissioner?
I'm glad you got the rain. We didn't get nothing. We didn't get much. I've got enough to water up the roads.
I think the 10th, maybe, wasn't that, anyway, we're just still hauling rock and a couple of days, patch some potholes and we'll move down to another road, southwestern of my precinct, depending what the weather does tonight, tomorrow, and next day. Do another road. Keep hauling rock.
Well, we're the same boat Larry's in, we're a little dry, it's got on the rain, so we're working on 3101 behind the new school out here. And working with the school, they're going to purchase the oil, we're gonna try to chip seal that road later on summer. And ultimately, they're gonna open up a driveway out of the back and try to alleviate some of the traffic.
Oh, good.
Up front. So it's not good coming out of that.
Be good.
And we're just hauling gravel like always. Like, and these people, it's more and more people move in. They wear out the roads faster and we keep them patched. And something else. We're gonna need more money next year to operate.
This is just the welcome and visitors portion of Commissioner Court. So is this your welcome? No, not yet. We're getting there though. Before we know it, we'll be in budget hearings. Ms. Tanner?
I'm good.
You good? Sheriff? Yeah, Sheriff?
Thank you, let's move to the sheriff's office.
All right. You guys don't have much to say today, huh? Constable? Oh, yeah, I bet it is, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Tom? Okay.
We're trying to kick off, get this hazard mitigation moving forward. We had a good meeting Friday with these fuel partners. Got a series of meetings coming forward in the next few weeks. The kickoff meeting, I think we're gonna try to do that in the second week of May. We got our plan expires the 25th. But as we've started the wheels in motion, we are still compliant. As long as we continue forward on the path of growth. So all the grants that are open in Hillsborough, some of the other big grants that were kind of in question, everything should be good.
Good. Mr. Holmes?
Haven't been good.
No? Anybody else? Philip?
Still working on the MDTs for the sheriff's office. We've been running into some trouble with Dell, the GPS receivers that all those MDTs came with, none of them work. And they have no replacements, they're all in back order. I've had to escalate it up to what they call a resolution manager, just to get the situation resolved. In the meantime, we've had to order some external GPS receivers, and so we do have a solution, but it's not a solution that we should, not a path that we should have to pay.
Right. Well. All right, we'll move to open forum. Is anybody here today for open forum? Oh, man, I don't even know what I'm doing. What are you talking about? I didn't haul any gravel. We did get a little rain and I got my desk situated, so that's where we're at.
You need a coffee pot.
I need a coffee pot. We got the water guy came the other day, so we got a water cooler, so.
Get the ambulance.
So, all right, open forum. Anybody here today for open forum? All right, come on up.
Daniel, it was supposed to be a hearing today on Big Jones Road for no food truck traffic.
Yes, sir.
So if anybody's here to speak for that, it's a opportunity, or we need to move it till the next court in May. Yeah. So it'd be better to put it on the next court.
What's that actual county road?
2134.
2134.
Hasn't advertised in the paper yet. It was posted on the roads, I know that for sure. Okay, we gotta have it in the paper 2 weeks.
And we'll see if they had done that yet or not.
Judge, I just wanted to say thank you. I appreciate you stepping up into this role, taking it on. Obviously, it's a big one. No one can appreciate it more than I can. Drinking from a fire hose right now, as they say, it's kind of like going straight to the fire hydrant and turning it on. But I look forward to working with you from the city of Whitney standpoint. We built a great relationship with the commissioners. We've been building back bridges that were burned in the past. And I continue to look forward to working with all of you, especially you. I did want to mention the public hearing, it was posted. I just wanted to make sure that we didn't forget it.
Yes, sir.
Please, don't let that fall off the radar.
Yes, sir.
Because that is an important thing. And then, the traffic, study, if you need help with the traffic study to do that, I have resources available that we can tap into. So just wanted to make sure that those were on there. That's all I have to say.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, move on to consent agenda. Got yours right here. It's some meetings, invoices, payroll, and the monthly report for revenue and disbursement. And then elected officials training certificates.
Second.
All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. I did get trained. I now know stuff about open meetings and something else. Yeah. So those are also in here. Pass those around. These are these. Yeah, right. Yep. All right, as those go around, next one is discuss and or approve employee wage and status change. We have got some new hires, Leah Ferguson with the sheriff's office and the jail. Claribel Fuentes as administrative assistant. Allison Fresno is a jailer. Ronnie Glenn is a jailer. Wendy Grantis, county extension agent. This is a change date. Brent Huffman. He is leaving us. And a status change, myself, Judge Lewis, and Ty Hardy with the Sheriff's Office.
That's it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Yeah. All right, discuss and or approve the National County Government Month, April 2025 proclamation. Anybody put this on here? No? Don't know where it came from? Treasurer's office? All right. This is a National County Government Month, April 2025 proclamation, whereas the nation's 3,069 counties serve more than 330 million Americans, provide essential services to create healthy and safe, vibrant, and economically resilient communities. And whereas counties fulfill a vast range of responsibilities and deliver services that touch nearly every aspect of our residents' lives. And whereas counties as intergovernmental partners enact local and state federal programs to address the needs of all residents. And whereas Hill County and all counties take pride in our responsibility to protect and enhance the health, well-being, and safety of our residents in efficient and cost-effective ways. And whereas each year since 1991, the National Association of Counties has encouraged counties across the country to elevate awareness of county responsibility programs and services. And whereas Hill County now therefore be it resolved that I, County Judge Shaden Brassel, do hereby proclaim April 2025 as National County Government Month and encourage all county officials, employees, schools, residents to participate in county government celebration activities. All right. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Scotty City missed the second paragraph.
Oh, it started with whereas. Whereas. All right, number 3, discuss and or action on RFP for liability insurance. Miss Susan, this is from you.
Let's get that to you, Judge, and we've been working on updating the figures, so I guess let me just make sure these dates will work. Our policy runs July 1 to June 30th, and the advertising notice here, let's see. According to the proposal, I was gonna have the bids come in Friday, June the 13th at 2 p.m. And that would give us 2 weeks to negotiate, and we have some negotiations and come up with a policy. I know sometimes Fridays aren't a good day, that if they're gonna be coming to your office, I guess we need to be sure that's gonna work for you, and then open them at 2:45. I don't know what June 13th is. I don't think we have a holiday or anything, and I had it set to publish May 1st, May 15th, and May 29th.
Okay. June 13th is good for me.
That'll work?
Yep.
Okay. Anyway, we've used the same format. I don't know what y'all think on the deductibles. Our current deductibles for the policy is on the auto liability and physical damage. We have $1,000 deductible. Of course, the higher deductible should mean the lower premium, but you have to kind of balance that out. We have a $5,000 deductible on liability coverage for law enforcement. And the general liability is a 0 deductible. I don't really know. We have 0 deductible on that particular part. TAC is kind of, I guess, steered us in that direction. We probably should go up on the general liability 0. Not sure what we feel comfortable on that. And then on property, they put us at $25,000 deductible on a property. That's just what the TAC property coverage mandated, but mobile equipment is $2,500. public officials is 2,500. And I have crime at $1,000 deductible. I was thinking they had, TAC had just included that in with our other coverages. What would you feel good on the, just ask for quotes perhaps on the general liability of 2,500 to 5,000, or what is your thought on?
Depending on what the rate would be.
Okay, we'll just ask for quotes on that. So are any of those rates? Anything you would want to see higher, or?
I think the car liability, if you could get a bid of 2 or 3 higher amounts, those, you know how much it comes through your office that we spend on the sheriff's office working vehicles. And so,
Well, I nailed it.
you know, if they have a good year and don't wreck a lot, we might could go from the liability.
Okay, I'll ask for some other quotes and see where we go, but anyway.
Association of counties has always been, good to work with.
Well, absolutely. I think we have just found in the past, every 3 to 5 years, if we people kind of sharpen their pencils a little bit better.
Yeah.
You have a proposal, and it's kind of good to see what the other companies are offering. So
I agree.
that's all I have, Judge.
All right. So
We can put it on here, I guess just approve the proposal.
approval for RFP for liability insurance. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Let me paper that back. All right, number 4, discuss and or action on certification of revenue. So, oh, go ahead.
We had not all of the recent candidates auctions, they're not all receipted, and so I didn't certify those. Precinct 2 had some donations that he received, and that was my one certification.
It's on 2312.
So I'm certifying $50,000, $700, $50,000 for HCR 2312, and then 700 miscellaneous road donations that were made. That's the only certification I have.
All right.
Make a motion approved.
Second.
And then the budget amendment.
All in favor? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Go ahead. No, you're good.
On the budget amendment, so.
That goes with that. Sorry.
The budgeting process here, you received income that was unanticipated after the beginning of your budget year, you can certify that into revenue and into expense. So for precinct 2, we're adding a budgeted amount now for the 50,700 in revenue. And we're also adding 50,700 to construction materials, to road and bridge 2.
See one for that.
Oh, I failed to include you.
Oh. I see.
And you too.
Ah,
I send it to the.
Yeah.
Keep that. And then the FM lateral, we had a budget amendment. Just moving some money, 50,000 from bridge and infrastructure to contract services.
that was number 5.
That was for FM lateral 4. Just to it's.
Keep me out of the negative.
Yeah, keep them out of the
Keep me out of the
Keep it
ditch.
straight. It's, we look at the whole budget, but when things get out of whack, it's kind of nice to have it in between the lines so we can monitor it, the
Yes, ma'am.
budget more effectively.
Okay. So,
It'll be tough, we still have 6 months left.
a long way to go.
Yeah,
Hope the money falls from the sky soon.
Do we have a motion on the budget amendments? All in favor? Aye, all opposed? Motion carried. Oop, there, that one. That one. Okay, number 6 is to discuss and or action regarding sheriff's role in current and future operations, Hill County Emergency Management. This one is gonna be just in a discuss. There is no action. Sheriff, what do you got?
So, as y'all know, I carry, both emergency management personnel license as a peace officer. Looking into the people rules and everything, they are listed as full-time peace officers. They do not have one full-time peace officer roles or needs. Therefore, that's an issue, and asking the court to see if the judge has the authority to place emergency management under my office. We have the resources to assist in that. Nothing would change on the day-to-day as far as who's in charge of that. They would just report to me instead of the county judge. So if the county judge has the time and or if you want to discuss to see if he has the legality to do that, that's my request for the judge today.
So what would that look like as far as office?
They see where they're at. So, yes, sir.
My understanding, the emergency management, if we do not have Tom in that group, that all falls to county judge, not to sheriff. And in the city, if the city doesn't
Also the
have,
mayor.
well, to the mayor, so.
Correct. I wanted to ask if the judge had the authority. It says he has the authority to appoint the emergency management coordinator. I wanted to see if the judge had the authority to appoint that office to another office, basically.
Well, you
And
got-
I haven't had,
We've got the same problem with the environmental guy, don't we?
he's a peace officer, works for me. So.
Well, I know about a year ago, Judge Lewis and I, and Karen and probably somebody else, we discussed having a entity built or set up just for all that to be in one place rather than people.
I agree. I would love to have that deputy back.
Yeah, so.
That's not the way.
So I think that's something that we need to address in the budget process because we're 2 months away from resting on the budget. We're starting our great time with the budget. And so I think that's something that we should put off for the budget time to see what it is. But in the meantime, figure out whether the county judge is the ultimate liable person for that.
Right. Oh, I agree. I think discussion should be had. I'll put it on there and people may have gotten upset or whatever, and then that was not the intention. It was to discuss to see if there was even legality to do that. The judge ultimately has the decision on that office. I just thought it could work a lot better, a lot smoother if we worked together and used each other's resources. and stuff.
I'm not opposed to it. I'm just think that that's something we need, because we got Jeff and I think you'd like to get rid of Jeff is under your jurisdiction is what I've been told. And so I think.
My opinion, I think that 90% of that role can be done by a civilian, in my opinion. The enforcement side would be the only reason why you would need a deputy.
Well, he's certified
Yeah,
with the septic and environment. And the same thing with Tom, for floodplain management. And those certifications would have to be carried by someone else then, and then you're spending money to educate and pay for certifications.
yeah, but I think it.
Why would that have to change? I didn't say he would be changing at all. That wasn't I didn't want to be the end all be all emergency management. I just wanted that office to be transferred under me where we could utilize everybody's resources. He would still be the emergency management coordinator. That was not my intention at all to
So
take anybody's job away or.
how does that speed up the response time or the communication
Well, like
in an emergency?
Jackson has the ability to run the radios and knows how to do the dispatch center, knows where the towers and stuff are, knows where all their equipment is. Tom goes to all these meetings. We have resources that we can allocate to them to do these different events. I mean, to me, instead of a phone call that I have to make or they have to make to me, we're already gonna have meetings, we're gonna be planned and prepared on an emergency situation. Both offices, if you ask me. So,
Well, I think there's a lot of discussion that needs to take place. And like you say, you know, I think we push that to a budget discussion because we were talking about, as you mentioned, creating an entity for the environmental forest certifications and getting Jetson.
Really just about, I'm not. Other than maybe, I'm not sure about emergency management, but everybody else in that building pretty well works together back and forth, and I think it needs to be a unit. And whether emergency management stays long-term or not, I don't know, but I think it's not something we need to jump in today. I think we need to do the budget.
I do, and this is where we're gonna get to. This is an issue that I have not for me personally, but for the rules of TICO. And when we start to take a deputy and use them to enforce septic rules, and we use them, use my badge for them to carry their law enforcement commission, you put law enforcement on their vehicles. And they can respond to calls under my badge, but I have no authority over them. That makes no sense to me. Therefore, if this does not occur and we do not work this out, my office will no longer carry their commission. Because I'm not going to have TICO show up and tell me what do they do as a full-time peace officer, because that's what they're listed as, and I can't tell them that they're a full-time peace officer with me because they're not. So they either have to be moved to reserve, or they have to have an office that will carry their commission, that the duties that they are explained represented. They don't under the current status. I'm not felon. This has been done incorrectly for many years. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it anymore.
It's something we need to take time and sort through. We're not gonna do it today.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate you bringing it first.
Well, it's not the first thing you've.
No, it's nothing they did. They didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I mean, the way everything has been run in the past.
Right.
This is not the first thing that showed up.
Well, and like I said, it was my mistake in the way that it was put on the agenda saying discussion or action. There is no action to take because frankly, the court has no authority over emergency management. That is my purview. But it is obviously just in the 5 minutes we've been discussing it, not a simple solution.
Okay.
And it sounds like we've got a lot of other issues with the kind of off topic that we were talking about. So I think that there needs to be a lot more discussion in this, a lot more reading of TICO and
I'm good with that, Judge.
what is it, the occupations code? No, administration code about emergency management and who and what and such. So I would like to delve into that with council as well. And then maybe we'll visit this probably at a little bit better time, closer to budget, because like you said, we start tomorrow, it feels like. So if that's,
Posting workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Special meeting.
because we can't, yeah, we're all gonna have to sit down and talk about it, and we can't do it outside of here. So we'll have to post a meeting to address that specifically. And with some more research and probably with the auditor as well, because I'm sure she's shaking her head in the nightmare of numbers that it probably would be. But I do think obviously it's an issue needs to be addressed, hasn't been done correctly. But there may be another solution. Also, we may reach out to some other counties and see what they're doing. Maybe counties that are comparable to us, not Dallas, but other counties that, and see what their solutions are for this issue. Yep. Okay. All right. Well, Sheriff, you might as well stay. All right.
I wonder who's next.
Number 7, discuss and approve an additional staff member for the Hill County Jail. Go ahead, Sheriff.
Okay, so as you know, we passed our jail inspection, which is a big deal, it hasn't been done for 3 years. So
we took a look at our current staffing situation and what we had. I've got with the auditor. We do have the current funding for the rest of the year to fund a position that I'm requesting. So as you know, Lieutenant Miller is now Captain Miller. She was the one that handled all the administrative work in the jail. The pen packets, the complaints that were filed, she responded to that. She did all the VA paperwork, all the social security paperwork that comes in. When an inmate's in jail, you have to respond within a certain amount of days. It's a lot of paperwork that I feel she can do, but as her new role captain, should not have to do because she already has enough things on her plate. And I feel that if she continues to do her role as lieutenant and as a captain, that she's gonna be overwhelmed and probably either have an spray down or quit us at some point. And I don't want that to happen. So we looked into our current budget, the chief and I, and I got with the auditor. We do have the funding to fund this position that I'm requesting. I'm not requesting an administrative lieutenant because we have that position currently. I'm asking for a second operations lieutenant in the jail, which would make it more sensible if you think about the supervision of the jail. Right now, we only have one lieutenant. He's working 4 days a week to try to cover both sides. If I have another operations lieutenant, that lieutenant can work A side, and then the other lieutenant can work B side. Both sergeants, groups of A and B have supervision from a lieutenant as well. My sergeants are pretty young. They're doing a great job. They're pretty young, and they do from time to time need some questions answered from supervision. And then that allows Captain Miller to do her job as a captain and run that jail. So with that being said, if the court allows this to happen and allows it to fund throughout past this year, this will give us a full-time compliance lieutenant that is labeled currently as the administration lieutenant. They will do nothing but jail compliance. They will do pen packets and do all the building and paperwork that Amanda currently does. And there should be no reason that our jail ever fails inspection under this current setup.
You've got funds in your budget to cover this?
Yes, sir. I have funds at the moment to cover the rest of the year. With a little bit of drop left over. I think it's right. That's it. We're right there. So all I'll be asking for is this position to be continued on after this year.
I saw Miss Susan sent me an email with the numbers and they have the money.
I'm gonna make a motion to accept the second.
All in favor? Say aye. All opposed? No opposed, motion carries. Thank you, sir. All right. Yes, ma'am.
Also was here thinking that we were gonna discuss the budget amendment for them today. I did not get with you. I didn't know if we wanted to, under budget amendment, discuss that.
Oh.
And that next quarter.
I don't mind discussing. It's on the agenda.
It was just.
Um,
told to come back and we could.
Correct. Correct. Come on up. I recall this a little bit.
Yes, so we had come back. I think in July 24 and asked for $30,000 for our budget. And it was very favorable through our presentation, but during the hearings, it wasn't discussed. We got our 20,000 from the previous year, which we're very grateful for, thank you. But because of the rising costs and the number of children that we're serving, we wanted to come back and ask for the additional $10,000 to add to our budget. And I had given this last time, I think an extra, the highlighted ones we had to cut completely out of our budget due to the funding, and then we had to decrease the red line items from our budget. And so we had presented that 2 weeks ago, and they said we had to come back this hearing too.
I'll make a motion to give them the 10,000.
Second.
I agree. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We're gonna have to find something to sign for you. Miss Susan, can you? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, that's what I was thinking. Number 8, presentation by SK Law of Houston regarding creation of the multiple municipal utility district number 1 in Hill County. Anybody here for that?
No.
Number 9, discuss and or approve renaming all interior roads in the ranches at Bobcat Ridge as they are not properly named. County Road 1103, County Road 1112, and County Road 1122.
Correct. So when that subdivision was originally platted, those interior roads were constructed by Bobcat Roads contractors. We've not maintained those, don't plan to maintain those, and want to rename those private roads instead of county roads. And they are on notice of that, they know that. We had a lengthy conversation via letter, which I copied our council with, and just needs to be corrected. It was not called, it was originally platted.
Right. Do we have to do any actual notices? Do we need to post anything, David?
Rename those. I don't know the answer to that.
Will they need all new addresses then?
No,
They don't.
They would have to have them.
Yeah.
Street name.
Yes, they would.
well, we have to have new signs.
There's no houses on those roads?
There are already few.
Okay, so they would have to be renamed, readdressed to the private road. Okay. Yes, ma'am. I feel like it.
I'm not remembering exactly what happened with that when that was done. But I remember Commissioner Montgomery, I believe, was taking those roads and putting it up that industrial court.
Never taken in, don't plan to take them.
That's why they were giving county road.
That was, they were platted wrong when the original plat was set.
Well, he assigned county road numbers to those.
Can't find the record of that. That's how they originally platted.
Was that the one that Montgomery did all the work on?
He didn't do any work.
Okay.
Their contractors built them.
Yeah, I'm thinking of a different.
Well, they made a determination to the court for $75,000 for a wall. Which are perimeter roads around the subdivision. And they did that so that they could shore up the, kind of dress it up while they were selling the lots. And then they constructed the interior roads. There's no record of those ever being accepted into the maintenance system.
So do we need to post anything? No. I mean, if we're just correcting it, they were never actually ours. I would.
How many houses do you talk? How many houses do you talk about on those?
Handful, 5 or 6 probably.
Wouldn't hurt to send them certified letters, just let them know. Doing.
So do we want to table this for a minute? Come back to it, send them, we'll send them some letters. Who's gonna send letters? You are? Okay. Don't want to read your, I'm not.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, who's gonna send them a send? All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and table this at this time and we'll come
Table
back.
it
in.
to the next.
Yeah, we'll take, well, the next one should be time. No, yeah. 2 weeks. Depends on
Is
the
2 weeks
post.
enough time to send the letters?
We'll table it for the next. Number 10, discuss and or approve setting a public hearing to install traffic control devices for a 35-mile-per-hour speed limit sign on Hill County Road 1258. This is the school road, isn't it?
No.
No.
Well, that's 1240.
1240. They already did that. Right. Okay, 1258.
Yeah, we need to post it. And then, put it.
Okay.
I make a motion. Goodness. You got a public hearing to install traffic control.
All right, we have a motion,
Need a date.
May 20th.
May 20th.
That's cool. Excuse me, May 27th, was before Tuesday.
May 27th. We have a motion.
Second.
All right, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. That one around. All right, discuss enter approve setting a public hearing to install control devices for 35 mile an hour speed limit sign on County Road 1300. Same.
Public hearing to install traffic control devices. 35 mile an hour speed limit on HC or 1300.
On May 27th. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. All right. Discuss, revise, and or approve the process for installing 911 signs. Commissioner?
So I put that on there, and I'm not sure if Karen's got some insight. I know Martin has talked about it. We really don't have time to take that on as a commissioner. And I'm not sure how this all started. I was talking to Jeff Rowe one day, decided that he was overwhelmed by his workload. And I told him, asked him if there's anything I could do to help him. So I took a couple of his 911 signs off of his plate. And we put them in, and the next thing we know, next time we do 911 addressing, there's a table set up and categories for each of the 4 commissioners and stacks of 911 signs, which is a change in our jobs.
We don't have time. The only time we can put them up is either when they come in or it rains or we get rained out. We're gonna have 5, 6 people, and we've got enough to take care of without knowing, guessing. Sometimes when the written of the area where they go, it's still confusing for us to know exactly where they go sometimes. And sometimes they've been put in the wrong place.
Right.
But, I feel that the 911, that they go out and look, if they either need somebody part-time or somebody that knows the area that can go out and put the signs up.
You also need somebody to do the street signs, because I think precinct 1 has a lot of street signs.
Oh, yeah, I bet 40% of mine either expired or non-existent. Or stolen.
So we need to address it sometime.
I feel like we're leading back into our discussion.
Workshop probably.
Probably we could conduct that whole business around that same point.
Get that out there for discussion and see if anybody had any ideas. Karen and I talked about it a little bit and kind of.
We've got some ideas, but the way this is worded, we can't discuss it today. We've got some ideas, but the way this is worded on the agenda, we don't need to discuss it today because.
Well, we can discuss it, we just can't approve it.
Well, no, we need a workshop where it will bring it off of the table.
Yeah, because right now it's strictly, this is talking about 911 signs.
Right.
And what I think is wanting to be discussed is an entire department that would handle all of this in one deal. So that's why I think Commissioner Hawkins is saying we'd be a little bit off point of what's on there.
Well, we can't discuss it, make it today. We need to, it's not worded correctly on the agenda.
Right.
We need to
Move on.
We need to have a discussion with sheriff's office. We can have that workshop.
Yeah, we can do the same.
That-
So as of right now with this particular line, do we have any solutions for changing the process today?
Well, what I was going to say, was Claire and I talked about this, and part of when we get to the workshop, one of the ideas was for a part-time full-time person to put those out, and maybe with streets, and I can't talk about that, but then funding that, I mean, it's probably initially it's $200,000.
I got a solution for that too, but I can't discuss it today.
Well, I mean, you have any ideas?
We can't talk about it today because it's not on the agenda correctly.
So what about, do we have any solutions for today?
We need a workshop, that's what we need, just make sure we're good. I don't want David sitting at my table. All right, I like him, nothing against him, I just want him sitting next to
Well, you're
me.
making eye contact with him, I'm not.
I think, are you in agreement with that, council, that this should be taken up in a separate?
Well, you don't have it on there as an action item,
Correct.
so.
Okay.
Discuss it all you want, not in one sentence, but.
It says approved.
Well, that's why I put it on, so we get this.
What we're gonna do with this till October 1?
Well, there-
Until then.
That's I'm trying to circle back around. What about, so tomorrow? The 911 signs that are being put up tomorrow. Do we have any solutions for that with the resources we've already dedicated to it? We know commissioners don't have the personnel to do it. 911 addressing doesn't have the personnel.
Well, I'm be back putting up ones and threes, 2 and 4 have been doing theirs. But I'm putting up ones and threes again because Jim brought 15 he had back.
Right.
So I did go put them up. I don't have time. I can't keep up with that either. I mean, that's why we've had somebody else doing it for the last 7, 8 years. Originally, I was putting them up, 10 years ago, I put these all up. And we got so busy, it's just gradually gotten so much busier in our office. We had sheriff at the time signed and the judge approved a part-time. An additional deputy position was added to take care of environmental and the signs. And the deputy did it for a long time. And then that was taken away, and then the judge said the commissioners need to do it. Well, that's not working either. So we're still at a,
Impasse.
Still with the.
yeah,
At what time was the said that the commissioners need to do it?
Judge Lewis decided.
I know, at what
But it's not, yeah,
Let's know at what time? Years ago, months ago?
Just after the sheriff decided we need to take that, which
It was never told to me that way. And I said exactly what Jim said, open forum one morning, and we don't have time.
I understand, I totally agree with you.
And we already have a department to do that, so.
How many employees do we have in the 911 addressing?
Me and one
You and one other?
does all of our paperwork, or majority of it, she also does the. Paperwork for the environmental, all septic stuff. And. Does a lot of work for the treasurer and auditor's office with the scanning and. I mean, she covers quite a bit of stuff.
Is your budget is out from under?
No, no, it's general road and bridge. I clarified that. General road and bridge, because each one of you have your general road and bridge, but then there's a separate general road and bridge that budget comes out of, yes. I had to find clarification on all of this.
Line items.
Yeah.
Offset.
Well, we need to do something between now and then, now in budget time to keep that process moving, because they're not slowing down, right?
No, they're not.
I'm sure not.
We've got to figure out a way to get them covered.
Mhm.
What's like physically involved in putting up these signs that we go through the ground?
Yeah, I used to see Post Drive.
It's not the physical labor end of it, it's the time.
It's the time, yes.
Yeah,
Because, okay, I pull one of my truck drivers off, go put up a 911 sign and it takes an hour. That throws him completely out of schedule. instead of getting 3 loads on the ground a day, I get 2. And then the truck driver got to find something to do for 30 minutes there because it's messed up. It's, you know, it just throws everything out of whack as far as where the bridge goes.
3 loads of rock make a lot of difference.
Yeah.
To 2 loads.
Yes, it does.
Mhm.
What do you know? You live next to a rock pit.
I mean, the container on it, it takes your time in that.
It does.
It takes some time, the travel time is the biggest, it takes nothing, once you get there, it's
Driving,
5 minutes.
driving across the county.
Put 2 nuts and bolts on it. It's not, it's the travel time back and forth all over the county.
We don't have any just extra employees laying around anywhere.
I've got 2 out with surgeries, 1 on IR, I'm down to 4 and treading water.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'll continue to put them out in my precinct. Here a couple of years ago, when the guy was had a surgery or whatever, my guys put them out for the entire county. So they were going everywhere and finding roads they didn't even know existed, so. But it does take times away from you, but the other side of the coin, everybody's on county payroll. And, you know, if you're doing whatever the county, you know, like we shredded the tower in behind the jail yesterday. The tower's in my precinct, but the jail is not.
Right.
And so we've done that for several years now. And that pretty well kills a bulk of a day for one guy just to drive the shredder up here and shred all that and do everything and then get back to testing.
Yeah.
So there's some things that we do that really.
Oh, believe me, county to the public, county is county. It doesn't matter what precinct you're in. You're all county. And there's no distinguishing that. I'm not seeing an easy solution at this time that we're gonna come up with. Yes, sir.
You know, when they come get an hour application in, they're paying for the sign to be put up. Now, I feel like it's a disservice to the citizen to not have it put up in a timely manner, especially where it's what's required for them to get electricity established or at a new property, water set up on a new property. I mean, the commissioner comes and says, hey, can you help? You know, I'll help if I can. I'm all over the county, and if it works out that I'm past the blue one, I will, but that's just me. I can't speak for anybody else.
Yeah, that's what Jeff was.
All right.
Jeff did that at the direction meeting, by the way.
Yeah.
For him to come and show disgust of his time is not proper. I told him to go put those signs up for 1 day. And apparently he found you and y'all had a conversation and he just displeased his displeasure on having to put signs out. Well, it wasn't done to me. So what he said to you should not have been said, and I'll handle that.
Well, I'm not here to get Jeff in trouble. I was just trying to help him out.
I asked him if he would help us out, because nobody had time to put them out. And he did that day, so.
Every time Jeff went out with the inmates to put the signs up, he got calls. He had to go take the inmates back, and I understand that he had to take them back so he could go make other calls.
All right. Appreciate you, Constable, for your help. I don't see a resolution for this immediately. I'll keep working on it in the background. And obviously, there's gonna be some conversations had come up when budget starts tomorrow or whatever, we're doing that. So we're gonna go ahead and not make take any action on that line and move to the next line. That's gonna be discuss and or approve to accept donations from Russell and Cindy Hackler for $1,500, Tyson and Kelly Griffin for $1,500, Mike and Sharon Allen for $1,500, Nick and Amy Hoffman for $1,500, James and Cindy Bella for $1,500, Joshua and Brittany Bella for $1,500, Adam and Chesley Horton for $1,500, Richard and Deborah Carner for 200, Calvin and Shelley Turner for 200, Caden and Laura Hirth for 250 for chip seal work on County Road 1207 precinct number 1 for a total of $11,500.
Make a motion. Second.
Have a motion second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. These are all yours. Fine. All right. Number 14, public hearing to abandon, vacate, and close that part of Rabbit Shadow Trail off FM 1713 to SBL of tax property 355153. Is anybody here for a public hearing on that roadway? Yes, sir.
The hot property is adjacent to that, and my neighbor and I just want to get it closed, the north side of that property being closed. Text dots removed the culvert to that road. So we'd like to get it closed, so we can make it private, and put a fence between it, just keep him off of it. Close that.
Okay. What's your name, sir?
Same.
Sam Hart. Okay. All right, Mr. Hart. Anybody got any questions for Mr. Hart?
Does the public use the road?
No. No, it hasn't been used in years.
It was never finished. We had conversations previously in court about it. The public hearing didn't get there.
Mhm.
We actually disclosed the plan, what was that in October? Probably,
Mhm.
and I have got.
All right. Thank you, sir. Anybody else?
This public hearing posted at Dolan's.
I was gonna say, I believe it was. All right, so we'll close the public hearing and go to number 15, discuss and or approve to abandon, vacate, and close that part of Rabbit Shadow Trail off FM 1713 to SBL of tax parcel 355153.
Motion to abandon, vacate, close that part of Rabbit Shadow Trail off of FM 1713 to the south boundary line of tax parcel 355.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Who carries? All right. Number 16, discuss and or approve preliminary plat for May Spring Whitney Estates Edition. This is the plat we got. Here. All right. Discuss and or approve.
Yeah, we had originally, when we first discussed this in plat committee, we required the developer to move the driveways, to have shared driveways between the lots because of the distance, but we've since gone out and looked at it, and we have plenty of room to do the work that we need to do. So in conversations with him, I told him that we would approve each lot having a separate driveway.
And I believe we had the county surveyor also, I've seen some talks.
Yeah.
He said the same thing. He approved of that as well. So do you have a motion? I know exactly where that's at. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion.
All right.
Preliminary plat, makes it
Yep.
with these steps.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, motion carries. We're supposed to sign this as well. Correct.
Mhm.
That's good. All right, number 17. Discuss and or approve contract with Resimplify. What do you got on that? Yes, ma'am.
As the person service and EPC, entered into a contract with. We did a 6-month subscription with them, and what they provide is essentially a tool for looking at parcels and buildings that are available for development. The city and EPC are also participating in paying for that contract for $3,000 of it. The county participating allows us to look at sites that serve RFIs that we receive out throughout the county. It also allows site consultants and companies to search those within the county. They'll also be housed on the chamber page, and then any other page that you guys believe the companies will look at.
This is a renewal, correct? Is this the one we talked? No, this is a new one. Okay, renewals next. I see.
I would like to have a little bit of the language tweaked if y'all want to approve subject to my.
I'll make a recommendation.
Motion and a second to approve the contract. After Mr. Holmes, yes, yeah, subject to change, for Resimplify. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. That's where I believe it would come from. Yes, ma'am. It's 3,000. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, Miss Susan. I can't see you back there. Dated 8 things. All right, number 18, discuss and or approve contract extension for retail coach. This was the
Years now. They have provided analysis of different commercial sites and also represent us at retail conferences to recruit franchises, retail development, et cetera. Some of the businesses that are going to be announced very soon, I hope, in the outlet mall. It was Retail Coach that initiated those conversations. They're also the ones that have provided the data that Judge Lewis frequently would refer to as far as traffic coming to our outlets.
seems like a pretty good deal on us being able to predict the influx that's been coming in the county beyond the retail aspect of it.
We've also been recently connected with the property owner and I asked us for the best use of their parcels, so we support them in that effort.
These are the same people that did the survey on how many cell phones are on during the middle of that.
They work with the data company that does that. So it's.
I would like to see that again, see what, has this been, what, a year, Tom, since they did that? Or more?
Yeah, we use place for AI to do that. I think it's been pretty much a year on the numbers, the census will way.
Oh, yeah, well, I think with the people moving here, that needs to be done again, because I know on your deal for emergency management, we need a better number of how many people are in Hill County. If we go by the 30,000 or whatever the state says.
Well, we
That's what,
probably 45, 50,000, 50,000 people.
was it 47,000
Yeah, I
roughly?
mean, it was like in a month.
Yeah, and we hours in the morning for 3 hours, right at 47 cell phones stationary in Hill County.
Yeah.
That doesn't count 35 or any of those.
Well, the way they did it, you had to be counted, you had to stop for a minimum of 3 hours. That way it didn't count the traffic and up and down 35. So whether you live here or not, if you came here and stayed, you know, a hotel or something, still counted that person, because honestly, if you have something going on, you need that, I don't.
Real number, yeah.
So, I mean, it's a great tool, it's just really expensive.
Well,
He
and
actually has a subscription right now with Placer AI. I don't think we'll be renewing it, partly because of the cost, and we haven't
It's
seen
pretty
the
expensive.
data be very accurate. So through Retail Coach, they actually are working with a different, similar service, but not Placer, that supposedly has better data, but they all think have better data. And so we can get that information through them without having to pay that subscription.
well, I know at the hospital, I'm not hospital, airport board meeting last week. The number of people in Hill County helps on, I guess, grants for the airport. So if we've got better numbers, then that will enable the airport to get more grants, so.
All right.
Make a motion for the contracts.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. All right, we're gonna take a 5-minute break and we're gonna go into executive session according to Texas Government Code 551.07.